They can take your world. They can take your heart. Cut you loose from all you know. But if it's your fate, then every step forward will always be a step closer to home.
Sorry, but did I hear you say Sora?
Sora disappeared. He's a good friend of ours. We think he's in a big city full of tall buildings. Ring any bells?
Quadratum? It has more skyscrapers than any other city I know. That must be it.
The truth is what you see with your eyes, not what you hear.
So, your name?
My name is...
The organization. Are you what's trapping him in that nightmare? Because if you are, I'm what nightmares fear.
If it weren't for everything that you've done, then Sora and everyone would be safe.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Ronan Lockhart and this is Hip Style Gaming. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Morning? Yeah, it is day for me. I usually say night for me because it's usually night when I'm making these videos, but no, it's actually daytime right now. So hope everybody's having a good day. But yeah, guys, we got something completely different today, or at least different that I, normally don't do, at least that I don't remember I've done. But we're gonna have 3 theories in one video today. That's right, guys, you guys are getting 3 theories in one video today. Now, I previously scheduled all 3 or these theories to be separate theory videos in themselves, but I thought, hey, why not? I've stepped away from the channel for quite a, period of time, not as long as I have before, but for a pretty lengthy amount of time, only because, I'm doing other things. I don't know if you guys, or most of you follow me on social media, so you'll see that I'm doing things, like music, or, I'm designing, and etc, so, but I always have my ear to the Kingdom Hearts community, and with this, being the month that we're about to receive the final Kingdom Hearts Union Cross update, I feel that things are about to start getting really, really good in Kingdom Hearts. I mean, you guys can already see the way the mods are looking. Like, jeez, man, I've been seeing some really crazy ass mods, pardon my language, but I've been seeing some really crazy ass mods, dude. Like, I saw this one mod, I'll leave it on the screen and leave the links for that in the description box below, where somebody modded Link fighting Mario in I think it was Peach's Castle, if I remember correctly. I'll leave it on the screen, but I saw it and it was just super fucking funny. So, long story short, guys, yeah, the hype is really real for these 3 theories. It's gonna be 3 theories. The first will be the Kingdom Hearts real world theory. The second will be the Master's true identity revealed, and the third, and probably my favorite one, who the true Dandelion is that Lushu sent forward into the future. So yeah, it's about to get really good, guys. If you are new to this channel, please leave a like and subscribe to help the channel keep going, and if you would like to see more content such as this. And yeah, no more talking, guys. Without further ado, it's time to get into it. Put your caps on, put your brainstorming caps on. Hype is real. Hip Style fam, go. So as I stated before, the first theory up would be the Kingdom Hearts real world theory. Now I know when you guys hear that, you're like, Kingdom Hearts real world nigga, what? But really hear me out, okay? This is a theory I came up with that pretty much plays at the idea that Kingdom Hearts might in fact be taking place in the real world. Now I know you guys are still scratching your heads like, oh, this nigga didn't lost it, but that's not what's going on, guys. Really hear me out. Let's just play with this theory for a little bit, all right? So in a couple of videos ago, I stated that, the clock tower building on the Kingdom Hearts 3 cover looked very very, you know, like shocking to me, like, or it looked just suspicious to me. Like, in other words, I was like, why, what's the point of this clock tower? We don't see this clock tower nowhere in Kingdom Hearts 3, unless I missed something. If I did, leave it in the comment section below to correct me, but I don't remember seeing this clock tower, and this definitely isn't the clock tower from Neverland. So it's kind of like, what is the significance of this clock tower? Why was this put on the cover of Kingdom Hearts 3? Comes to find out that this tower is in fact actually significantly important. It's actually the NTT Docomo Yoyogi building located in Shibuya, Tokyo of Japan. It's actually known to be the second tallest clock tower in the world. So this is a pretty important tower, right? And so when I first saw this, I was like, you know, what was the point and meaning of this? You know, we all know Tetsuya Nomura always leaves us, you know, little hints and little bits and pieces in the game, you know, that come to fruition later, and it always blows the hell out of a lot of our minds, you know. But just how much is he really leaving us hints on, you know? Could this be a possibility? You never know, guys. The world is full of mysteries, you know. So the second thing that led me to, you know, the whole Kingdom Hearts real world theory is the you know, the whole black box thing. I speculated as well in the Sora will find out he's a video game character video that he will, you know, come to realize that Kingdom Hearts is actually taking place inside the black box. The black box would be actually something that the Master of Masters, you know, made himself to replicate the PlayStation 2. You gotta remember, Kingdom Hearts originated on the PlayStation 2, aka a black box, you know, so the Master would be replicating exactly, you know, what he saw in our world, aka the real world, okay? So those were the first two bits and pieces of evidences that I had, you know, to supply this theory. But then I had two or maybe three more that really make things get super interesting, okay? Number one, and then probably the most obvious one to me, would be the fact that quadratum in Latin actually means square. So if you put that kind of in context, that would pretty much, or let me say that again. If you put that in context and you say Sora is in quadratum, you know, okay, so Sora is in square. Sora is at Square Enix headquarters in Japan. The real world, okay? The second piece of evidence comes from the Master of Masters, you know, or at least in the secret ending we see of, you know, Kingdom Hearts 3, where Sora and Riku wake up in, you know, Shibuya. That scene when it showed the Master of Masters standing on the ledge, you know, holding up the heart to the moon, I instantly noticed that the spot that he was standing at was in fact, you know, overseeing Sora. I don't know if a lot of you guys caught that, and I remember I brought it up in one of my past videos as well, but it's actually a spot overseeing Sora, guys, and yes, it actually has been confirmed. The building that the Master is actually standing on is actually the Shibuya Hikari, or Hikari, you know, however you pronounce it or want to say it, building located in Shibuya, Tokyo of Japan. Okay, the Master is standing on top of that building and is overseeing Sora. You can see here, you know, this is the same shopping center, you know, there's the 104 building, you know, where, you know, Sora was in the trailer. So the Master is standing there literally watching Sora and Yozora most likely go at it, okay? He's sitting there watching, okay? But how would that, you know, just another building, okay, another building, what's the significance of that? Well, this building is actually very interesting, okay? Because first of all, this is a very big building, but the parts that we want to focus on right now is floor 11 through 16, or I believe it was floor 10 through 16, but this is Tokyo. This is the theater part of the Shibuya Hikari building, the theater part, okay? Why would the Masters be standing on top of this building, which happens to be, you know, associated with any type of movie, theater, you know? We know in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, you know, Unchained Key, the Master is actually, you know, standing in, you know, the whole little room with Lushu, and, you know, they're monitoring all the Disney worlds or different worlds, you know? So is that what's going on in real life? Could the master be going from the real world to the fake or, data world, their world, seeing what's going on, replicating what he's seeing in the real world? I mean, really think about it. That would explain why he gave his eye to Lushu to carry into the future so he could see everything, because while he's seeing everything, through Lushu holding his eye, in the real world, the master would actually be, maybe writing the story, hint, hint, or maybe doing something else. Who knows what it is, but that was another thing that was like really, really strange to me. I was like, whoa, because like I said, the whole thing instantly when Sora woke up in Shibuya, I was like, okay, now things are getting super interesting. I was always one of those people that was like, that's cool how Kingdom Hearts has the whole you can travel through Disney worlds, but I think it would be cool if Kingdom Hearts took a, like maybe travel through different Final Fantasy worlds approach, or I remember I said a more realistic approach, and boy did I get what I wanted. At least that's what it's looking like, because it's getting super, super crazy. So that's the second piece of evidence. The third piece of evidence, okay, and this video actually, appeared on YouTube, in my search channel, out of nowhere, or one of the, suggested videos. It popped up about 2 days or maybe a good day before, I initially, was recording this video and, making this video. And, yeah, I'm just gonna play it.
A video game series combining Disney characters with the Final Fantasy game world are now playable on your computer, and it's mydaily.com. The core games in the Disney and Final Fantasy mashup Kingdom Hearts are playable now for the first time on the PC. The series was born, did you know, partly because of an elevator ride.
Kingdom Hearts is a really cool story in the video game industry. As luck would have it, Square Enix and Disney were headquartered in the same building in Tokyo in Japan.
Yeah, a chance meeting between execs from the companies led to the development of the original Kingdom.
What the hell is Kingdom Hearts doing on the news right now? Was my immediate reaction, followed by confusion, as well as others in the comment section of the video were kinda shocked and confused too. Guess Fox 10 just decided to cover Kingdom Hearts randomly, and yeah, the thing they were actually covering was the mods. Actually, the mods have been getting so crazy that it made Fox 10 news, so that's another bit of evidence, that I thought it was just super weird. It's just really, really, eerie in a good way, and kind of cool, how Kingdom Hearts is, and all the attention and hype it's getting, so yeah, that's theory number one, guys. That's the real world theory. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. Speaking of the Master of Masters, that brings me to theory number 2. Who the hell is he? Something we've been saying for a long time, right? Well, if you guys are natives to my channel, you would know that I have been speculating for a very, very lengthy amount of time now that Sora is in fact the Master of Masters, and Kingdom Hearts is going through some whole little time paradox and multiverse, multi-universe, time paradox. I don't know what's going on anymore, guys. I'm very confused. But the point is, I speculated that Sora initially was the Master of Masters. Well, I started playing a little bit with other ideas of who the Master of Masters could be. I went through people like Lee, maybe Ericus himself. There were a couple of candidates on the list, but the most second likely candidate that could honestly be the Master of Masters in my book, especially with all the evidence, that is, kind of supporting this claim, would in fact actually be Ventus. That's right, guys. Ventus would be the Master of Masters. Now, a lot of you have been saying, or have jumped onto the notion of that the Master of Masters is in fact a being of light, seeing as darkness is around and him and the Master know each other. Okay, let's play with that notion and that theory. If darkness is darkness, we know only one other person in the Kingdom Hearts community who has called himself pure darkness, and that was Vanitas in Kingdom Hearts 3. Did you see the way him and Ven looked at each other? It was like a really, really strange look they gave each other, right? Right before Vanitas just kind of died or whatever happened to him, they gave each other a really strange look, right? Well, I come up with a theory that Ven might actually be the Master of Masters. It was always weird to me how Xehanort wanted to extract light from Ven. Why him specifically? Okay, why did he want to use him, and specifically for his plans? He extracted Vanitas, who is pure darkness, from him, okay? Darkness in Kingdom Hearts Union Cost Key says that him and the Master are old friends, okay? Vanitas and Ventus are like super duper close to each other. You know, they're literally one and the same person, you know? So Vanitas and Ventus, you know, darkness and light, you know? Could the Master of Masters in fact be Ventus? Well, the biggest piece of this evidence is actually in the new or latest Kingdom Hearts Union Cross story update, where Ventus actually gets up, goes Super Saiyan Light, and, you know, summons his Keyblade, and yeah, he kind of puts darkness in his place. When 4 to 5 of the other Keyblade wielders combined couldn't do it. Ventus did it solo dolo by so. Like, your boy just hopped up like, bruh, y'all serious right now? This is nothing, and just obliterated darkness, you know? But the fact that he started glowing light was super suspicious to me, because if you look at this scene right here, you know, where the Master of Masters tells young Xehanort, hint hint, his name, he says, you know, or he tells him his name, he starts glowing with light. Okay, he starts glowing with light. So could in fact Ventus be the Master of Masters? That would make sense, you know, why Xehanort, you know, wanted Ventus specifically. This is all part of the Master's plan. Like, what the hell is going on, you know? It's all up in the air right now. Like I said, I'm super confused on it too. I'm just doing my best to break it down for you guys, but from the looks of it, yeah, we're getting warmer to finding out who the Masters is. But if not Sora, I'm gonna put a lot of my money on that the Master of Masters could in fact be an older version of Ventus indeed. You know, for all we know, guys, the Master of Masters could be A, somebody we completely never heard of, B, somebody we knew it was, or C, somebody we just least didn't expect it to be. I'm not talking about like, what if he took off his hood and the Master of Masters this whole time was somebody like what's his name, I can't remember his name, the one with the big tomahawk, you know, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But what if he took off his head, what if he took off his head and there was somebody like Zaldin was the Master of Masters? Like, what the heck? Like, something just super random like that. That'd be so stupid. But yeah, guys, so that's theory number two. Let me know what you think of that in the comments section below. You know, if that makes sense, you know, and if you could see Ventus being the Master of Masters. And now it's time for theory number 3. Who the true Dandelion really is. The true Dandelion, the one that Luxu sent into the future, you know, to do whatever he has planned out for him or her. Okay, we know that Master Ava actually, you know, assembled her own little gang of dandelions or whatever, but we know now that Luxu actually has his own independent Dandelion, and for all we know, there could be more that he assembled later on throughout, you know, different time frames. We don't know what Luxu's up to, but this in particular Dandelion, who is this one Dandelion? Well, one theory that I had at first, you know, was that in fact it could be Ventus, you know, and the only reason I thought it was Ventus at first was because, you know, Ventus probably felt bad, you know, for all, you know, kind of the twisted shit he did. You know, he killed Marluxia's sister, or Laurium's sister, and, you know, he kind of, you know, cheated his way into being where it wasn't really him. He was under the influence of darkness. But the point is, Ventus felt bad about it, you know. So I remember when Sora woke him up, he looked at Sora and he said, "Oh, you were my second chance." And that, you know, kind of stood out to me like, second chance, huh? Oh, so maybe Luxu could have sent him into the future, you know, maybe, you know, to redeem himself and change everything, etc., etc. That would be why he was under, you know, the white Tao too, you know, how how Xehanort was carrying him, you know, when he, you know, put him on Destiny Islands. So, but then I started thinking like, nah, I don't think so. That would be a little bit too obvious, you know. The second pick I thought of would maybe be, you know, somebody like Ephemer, you know, if not, you know, maybe Ephemer was sent to be the true Dandelion after everybody else took the time pods. But, you know, I strongly don't think that it was Ephemer either, only because at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 he appears to Sora in what seems to be like some type of vision or scene, and I stated in, you know, the Ericus's brain video, one more time, I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. I stated that, you know, Ephemer might have been the one to stay behind, seeing as there was only a limited amount of pods left, so he might have been the one to actually stay behind, and that's how, you know, maybe he's the one, you know, kind of dictating the future of events. You know, if it wasn't Brain that stayed behind, it definitely would have been Ephemer, seeing as he's the leader and he would do something heroic like that. You know, I could see Ephemer definitely doing that. And then he appeared, you know, in like kind of what it looked like, you know, and how him and Sora were it was all white around each other. That kind of reminded me of, like, you know, the Matrix. You know how the Matrix is, you know, where Neo and Morpheus are, you know, kind of something similar to that, you know. So, but the one person that I really came down and thought, like, no, this has to be it, the true Dandelion. Ready for this, guys? Dun 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 dun. D-Mix. That's right, D-Mix is the true Dandelion that Lushu sent into the future. Now, evidence of this is actually found, you know, in Kingdom Hearts 3, you know, when Lushu actually appears to Riku carrying, you know, one of those white, you know, somebody in a, you know, I think it was a replica doll, you know, in the white towel. The same, you know, we always see anybody who's being carried like that is usually somebody or something important. You know, D-Mix only, you know, really appeared to be doing one thing important in Kingdom Hearts 3, and it was that one scene right there. Why did they show him doing that right there, you know? And then we know that Xemnas said to D-Mix, you know, along with Luke's sword, Marluxia and Larxene, you know, he said to them at the Keyblade Graveyard, you know, I'm going to reveal to you guys your Keyblade legacy that lies within you, or however he worded it, you know. And so everybody initially was like, you know, maybe D-Mix, you know, is from the land of your age of fairy tales along with everybody else, you know, and yeah, that is a strong possibility, and that might be his part. D-Mix might actually be the true Dandelion. But how would he be the true Dandelion? Well, he was doing a lot of, you know, secretive stuff in Kingdom Hearts. We don't know what all D-Mix was doing, but what we do know is that he came in handy right on time when Riku needed him, okay? This is probably the most obvious person who would most likely be the true Dandelion to me, only because, you know, he's just so random. You know, there's never been any type of origin or backstory to D-Mix, okay? We now know that he's from the age of fairy tales, but also one thing we also want to keep in mind too is the fact that Lushu, you know, he joined the organization under, you know, the whole identity of Xigbar. And, you know, he's actually been keeping a whole eye on everything, okay? So does that mean he's actually been keeping an eye on D-Mix as well to make sure that his plans actually go the way he needs them to go? Makes sense, right? See, I told you to blow you guys' mind, I told you. And, you know, if it didn't blow you guys' mind and I just said that for no reason, then please excuse me while I go dump water on myself in the bathroom. But yes, guys, those are the 3 theories I have here for you today. Did I blow you guys' minds? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content and more videos like this. And as well, guys, as a quick PSA, I will actually be releasing the hipstyle/KH merch website within another good 2 to 3 weeks. If you guys have been following my social media, I actually posted about that. If not, follow me below, Master Lockhart, or my music social media, Gemini. If you like to check out my music or just what I'm doing on my spare time, you know, when I do make music, you know, I will leave the link to my other YouTube channel in the description box below. As far as the whole website, as I said, goes, guys, I'm actually going to be, you know, putting, like I said, Kingdom Hearts related merch on there. Maybe, you know, things like socks, cups. It just depends. A whole bunch of just cool Kingdom Hearts, Disney, Final Fantasy, cool stuff you guys are definitely gonna want to check out and get your hands on, okay? Not to brag or anything like that, but, you know, just check it out. Just check it out. I promise it is worth looking at. It's worth looking at. And as well, guys, something else I will be putting on the website will actually be handwritten theories. These are theories that I actually, you know, I sit out and write, but I never really bring to the light. You know, we can call these the Lockhart reports, you know, to give them a cool creative name and make things pretty cool behind it. So yeah, I will be posting things, you know, like that on the website. So be sure to subscribe to the channel so you guys can be updated when that is already. And yeah, until next time, guys, I've been Ronan Lockhart. May your heart be your guiding key. Back when I first started, I had to duck a lot of spiteful moves. I was an angry youth while I was on the move. Saw sides of myself that I just never knew. I know they waited for me to self-destruct, but I never do. Now I'm used to doing double shifts. Hop up on a beat and I open it like a